My name is Heather. I have a 21-year-old son, Tyler, and an 18-year-old daughter, Ashton. I was told that I was not able to have any more children. When I saw the positive pregnancy test, my first inclination was this isn't gonna happen. Like, I don't want it to happen. I've raised my children. Like, it's time for me to heal. It's time for some me time. And I haven't had that in a long time. So to find out that I was pregnant it was a complete wrench. And again, in everything I had planned. The next day after my positive home pregnancy test, I Googled abortion referrals. I was sitting in my brother-in-law's kitchen, trying to figure out the quickest way for this to not happen. You know, I was just hell-bent on it. You know, I wasn't in a good place yet for that to happen again. And Thrive was actually the first thing that popped up on my Google. And I didn't read anything about them, just hit call or message or whatever it was, and got through to them and set up an appointment for the next day, for Monday. I went into the St. Peter's office and met with Carolyn. I cried pretty much the entire time. Due to some other health issues, they couldn't do the ultrasound in the office, so she wanted me to go see a physician and set me up with Dr. Herman, who, you know, Carolyn knew what she was doing when she did it. So knowing my stance on the pregnancy and not wanting to go through with the pregnancy, I think that's why she sent me to Dr. Herman. I met with him the next day, and after an ultrasound, we both kind of sat there and he asked me what I was thinking. And I wasn't sure yet, because I obviously saw that there were 2 sacs on the ultrasound. And he asked if I wanted to hear their heartbeats. And I kind of looked at him funny, and he says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'll be okay if you don't use that word in the plural form ever again." So it was a confirmation ultrasound. There were 2. I was 6 weeks along. And afterwards, after I cried and cried and cried with him too, he asked me to come back and see him in a week and not to do anything stupid and not to go to another clinic or see anybody else. Just think about things for a week. That's all he asked for me to do. After a week of crying and thinking and talking things out in my head and with other people, it just didn't seem so bad. So if it wasn't for him in that whole week, then the boys wouldn't be here right now. Parent University was my refresher course on how to be a parent to littles again, because it had been almost 20 years and not everything wasn't the same. So they taught us things like self-defense class and how to budget things. And I mean, it was just a lot of different things over the course of a year that were so helpful. The volunteers that were there with us every week, willing to help out of the kindness of their heart, it was amazing. I'd never in my life had that kind of experience with strangers. And at the end, they weren't strangers anymore, which was amazing. You know, how you get to know people. And I was leery at first about this whole experience, because in my life, people didn't want something for nothing in return. You know, I just always found there's people have an agenda, and here they don't. They just love people, and they just want to see people do their best and become their best. And that's, you know, kind of what Parent University and Thrive taught me too. So that I can be a single mom and be an awesome mom.
So while we were watching this, and she said, "Man, the guy that did the video is so good." It's JT, our old friend JT, who did the video. And but I want to know how you conjured up that tear for the video.
Oh, he had me just think of something very sad. So
Wow, man!
I was like, I go, we have to stop here, or it's gonna keep going. So we have. I was
watching that
anymore.
I was watching that. And I thought, man, she cried on command and everything.
The tears were a lot more the original day. It was a lot.
So tell us the names of the two boys and tell us about them.
Mason Ellis after my mom's dad, and Wyatt Russell after my dad's dad.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
Beautiful. So you in the video you talked about. This is an amazing thing. So you type in abortion referral, and somehow Thrive ends up at the top of the list. Bridget, how did that happen? She worked hard at that. And so you just go and you go blindly.
Yes.
And tell us just about the initial experience. You bump into them and meet people.
I went in for my scheduled visit, and was just, my mind was set on what I wanted to do. I didn't really want to hear anything. I didn't want to see anything else. Just, I knew what I wanted to do. And the girl that I met with, my first counselor, she asked if she could pray for me. And I was like, absolutely, please do. And just reading the literature that they gave me, and seeing the doctor that they set me up with, and, taking the week to think about things instead of just making a rash decision, it opened my eyes to what things could be and not what they should be, not, what a bad decision could make it, so.
And you and I were talking earlier, then through the process, you actually found out, man, maybe I can do this. And even the words of the doctor, he kept telling you, we can make this happen.
Right, we're going to have babies. Parent University and the counselors at Thrive, the whole organization, they just make it seem possible that you don't have to walk the road by yourself, that you're not alone, you're not the first, you won't be the last. They just set you up with an amazing group of people that are a positive support system when you don't have that.
And you talked about in the video, I love this, you said they were strangers, but they weren't any, now they aren't anymore.
Well, they
talk about the relational part of that.
They become your friends. I had Parent University over the course of my entire pregnancy. So the volunteers at the church that were there every week, the teachers that are there every week, my counselor at Thrive. I mean, they started out as strangers, but at the end, you get to know them, they get to know you, your family. A lot of people don't have that. They come there. So this is the only family they have.
And so it becomes kind of a lifeline
Yes.
for you
Yes.
and obviously for your little guys and all of that.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. I love going back to see the girls there. I miss going to Parent University every week. So like I said, it becomes your support system, and you can share your experiences with other parents. I didn't have a lot of that, so it was really nice that
you were kind of on your own.
Pretty much, yes. I had moved back to the Troy area and was living with my dad during the pregnancy, so he had no idea about being pregnant or anything that I was going through. So, I mean, he was pretty much it until, I was with Thrive, so.
And you talked about your two older children.
Yes.
How are they in terms of relating to the little ones?
They love it. They absolutely love it. They would want to be with them all the time. I mean, it's just my son's initial reaction was, I'm glad it's you and not me. So, I was kind of thankful for that too. So, I mean, I don't want my grandchildren and my children to be in the same 4-year span of school together. But, if it happens, it happens. But no, they're so wonderful, and they're so patient with them. Where I don't have patience, sometimes they do. So it's a beautiful thing to watch them interact together. So
you told me the twins are 20 months old.
They are 20 months old.
That's spectacular.
Yes, but terrible twos, or hit early. So we're working on things. So every day is something new. So
perfect. How many of you love and respect and believe in her? That's Heather, everybody. Thank you.